that's enough. You mustn't lose your temper. What, I have to fight all of them now? You done that, MSQ? Me too. Oops. I don't like this. Oh dear God. Dear God. My God. Oh dear God. Okay. Oh God. Pepsi. Um. Oh. That was real fast. Oh, I should be using. Sorry, Lala. What's phlegma? Misery. Oh, okay. Right. 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 Oh, that has a really small range. All right. I missed a whole lot, but I can't pause this. So hold on a second. Yeah, I don't like that it's that high. I'm hoping to do an expert or a trial roulette and get a much lower dungeon where I have like very few abilities. Loifa, we don't have time for this. You held your own against the enhanced. But that's enough sport for now. The mission takes precedence. Confound it, not again. She looks so sad. They dropped something. What's this? No, it's helpful, Winter. Okay, hold on. Let me go back and see all the things that people yelled at me while I was remembering. Uh, wow, I won the race. Yes, you did. And then Asuna came in and finished the MSQ. Yeah, that fight's a lot easier with gear. Oh, did you do that without gear, CJ? What did you think of the fight with Z? I'll get to that in a minute. I'm screaming. Daddy, plasma, cast arc. I'm dead, Re. What? Me yelling. My God. Stream. Hello. How's it going, guys? Oh, I've had a busy day. So I'm happy to finally not be busy. But I'm still busy because streaming something more than just sitting on my butt. Hello, Winter. How's it going? So, since nobody said anything otherwise, I think I'm gonna unlock raids first, if that's cool. Uh, where do I unlock them though? Where do I go? Especially because, yeah, with the story, I don't know how long these are gonna take. Probably take a while for me to do. Heck no, I haven't unlocked yet. What do you take me for? Old Charlian? Alright. I gotta unlock them on stream. Have I streamed since they came out? Well, yes, technically. Technically, I streamed yesterday, but that was to do raids. Where am I going? Where is this under? There we go. Story is decently long. You enjoyed raids yesterday, and by raids, do you mean trials, or are you referring to actually raiding yesterday as well? I assume you mean you enjoyed doing stuff as a raid group. Alright, is it this one? The Crystal from Beyond? I think that's the only blue one I see. Yes. Yes, that's what you meant, or yes, this is the the quest that I need. Where the heck is this? What the heck? Nemji. Yes to both? Okay. Crystal from Beyond. Oh, is this Elidibus? Nemji nods at you as if she was expecting your arrival. It appears my calculations were correct. I knew that if I stood at this very spot, I would encounter none other than Ari, the hero who saw us through the final days. So certain was I of my math that I stood here for... Well, let's not concern ourselves with that. I am Nemji, assistant to one Professor Claudine. We worked with the Idoscope to observe the ethereal sea and delve into its myriad mysteries. Sorry, it's bedtime. Some mysteries, though, are beyond even our capabilities to unravel. The strange crystal we but recently discovered, for instance, defies our every conjecture. You've been to the center of the star and far beyond it, however, so we hope that you may see something in this crystal that we academics do not. I beg you lend us your well-traveled eye at Aporia. Professor Claudine will be eagerly waiting your arrival. Oh my god, why am I so tired? Where am I going? Oh, here, okay. Are they going to somehow poof me back in time? Because my understanding is this is somewhat tied to the past. I am in instance 3 if anyone wants to stalk me. Not saying you need to, I just felt like sharing for some reason. Who's this dude? As I live and breathe, it really is you. I assumed Nemji was simply attempting to pull one over on me, as it were. Perhaps I should pay more heed to her wild claims. I thought she was a male. Lalafell. Shows what I know. Welcome, welcome. We appreciate any insight you can provide on our matter of the crystal. Professor Claudine will share the particulars with you. She is female. He just referred to her. I believe Nemgigi is a female naming convention as well, but I'm bad at remembering those things. But this guy referred to it as, yeah, pay more heed to her wild claims. I mean, I only know because I talked to this guy who is definitely not necessary to talk to. But yeah, otherwise, I was like, wait, does she have pigtails? No, she doesn't. But yeah, that's kind of... I would never have guessed. I would never have guessed. But I think the name is female. Claudine, what say you? Or Claudian? We're gonna go with Claudine. Greetings, Ari, and welcome to my humble laboratory. I'm sure sorry, click the button. I'm sure Nemgigi has already told you plenty about us, but allow me to introduce myself personally. I am Claudine, leader of this little research collective. I must admit I've been nervous about this meeting ever since Nemgigi set out to find you. For a researcher in my field, there's no greater honor than to meet the first woman in history to traverse the ethereal sea and return to tell the tale. Damn straight. The professor speaks often and at length of your deeds, but he has no small number of achievements of his own to name. He has peered deeper into the ethereal sea than any other in Charlian, and the breadth of his knowledge is peerless. Peerless, perhaps, but for a single woman. We must seize this precious opportunity to learn what we can from her, and perhaps crack this conundrum that has stumped the three of us for moons. It was we who peered into the fathomless sea known from the antitower in the Dravanian hinterlands. There we spoke with Heidelin and learned of the fate that would befall this star, the final days. Soon thereafter all research was moved to Labyrinthos, and though the adioscope did we can and through the adioscope did we continue our vigil. It is impressive as a work as I can't talk or read apparently. As impressive a work as the device is, however, it can glimpse but a fraction of the sea's infinite depths. Which brings us to the matter at hand. Not long after the exodus was declared, we recovered an unusual crystal shard during a routine observation. It appeared before us suddenly as if propelled to the surface by some unknown force. I'm a reindeer. We found that it possessed an ethereal density that exceeds that of normal crystals by orders of magnitude, and its shape resembles nothing which occurred in the natural world. It was made, not formed. Ooh. Unfortunately, that was the extent of the information we could glean before we were forced to turn our focus towards the Exodus. The crystal was very nearly forgotten amidst the sudden upheaval. I don't know why I'm so sleepy. It's been a long day. But thanks to the efforts of a certain someone, that crisis is now behind us, and we are free to resume our research. Thus did we decide to seek you out, the dauntless adventurer who delved into the unknown and beheld its innermost secrets. And now we would have you see for yourself. Here is the crystal in question. It resembles aught. If it resembles aught you have encountered before, even by the smallest degree, please say so. Apparently. Oh! Oh, that does look familiar. Oh, yeah, it's got to remind me that it looks familiar. Or is it specifically reminding me who it's supposed to be? Memory abides within this crystal. I know someone who bears a similar crystal. Is it me? I bear a similar crystal. Memory abides within the crystal. Abides? Is that a word that makes sense in this context? As I thought, you do know what this is. Please tell me everything. Whose crystal is it, though? Is it Elidibus's? Because I'm pretty sure he's the Ascian that's supposed to be related to this quest. I see. The Ascians use these to transfer their memories to new vessels. Fascinating indeed. How much does everyone in the world know about Ascians? Like, are they do we have widespread knowledge of them, or is it basically like we knew about them and a few other people? It was plain that this crystal was special somehow, but this revelation surpasses even my considerable expectations. Similar artifacts have appeared throughout the ages, memories of martial techniques manifested as crystalline shards on the battlefield, or storied stones passed from master to student. Ah, yes, job stones. A comparison between said artifacts and this crystal may prove a fruitful first step in unveiling its true nature. What do you think, Professor? Is he muttering to himself? Ascian memories, windows through which we can gaze upon the convocation of the 14. Unlike the crystal in Ari's story, this one does not bear the mark of the convocation. Who then could these memories belong to? And more importantly, why were they stored in this particular shard? More important still, why was it set adrift on the ethereal sea? The Azem shard that we have doesn't have any memories in it, though, right? That was just like Emmett made it, or somebody made it to to remember Azem, but Azem left before they created these crystals, right? And put their memories in them. Pretty sure. Professor Claudian. Huh? Yes. I'm well aware that contemplation is the key to breakthrough, but there is propriety to consider. We have a guest, one you invited explicitly. Must we do this every time? What? Ah, yes, of course, our guest. Terribly sorry. I do so easily find myself unmoored by the tides of rumination. Perhaps a more engaging use of your time with us would be for you to take up that crystal. If indeed there are memories stored within, they may reveal themselves to you upon contact. Why me? Why can't you touch them? Oh, I'm just down for this. I'm like, yeah, whatever. More memories. Bring them on. I feel like perhaps I should take my glove off. If anyone, message, come, pandemonium, please, faces, grave threat, star, in danger, again. Hello? My headset just turned itself off. That's very strange. Oh, the battery's not dead. It was plugged in though, it shouldn't be dead. This cord I've been plugging it into is in fact plugged in, right? Yeah, it is. Hmm. Oh, it's plugged into my computer though. I wonder if it what did I have the other one plugged into? I thought it was plugged into my computer too. Whatever. Seems to not be turning itself back off again, so seems fine for now. That expression does not bode well. What did you see? I didn't see anything. I heard things. Oh, nod. That's what I saw. Oh, that's a let me tell you my story. Pandemonium is not a word I've heard before. If my knowledge of the ancient tongue serves me, it means all demons. Not a name that inspires optimism, all things considered. Ari's so cute with her little Rudolph nose. In the event that another star-shattering cataclysm is in fact bearing down upon us, I would have the aforementioned examples of crystallized memory to hand. Namiji, Rusino, I trust their procurement to you. If there are more memories to be extracted from this crystal, we will find them. As for you, Ari, there is a person I would have you seek, one who has delivered so dire a warning. Your story tells us that this crystal could very well have been made by one of your ancients. If that's the case, then discerning the nature of this pandemonium would require a trip far into the past, to an era before the Sundering. Yeah, about that. Apparently I can just teleport back there. I know of only one individual capable of such a feat, the very hero who traversed time to prevent the world's doom. Yeah. I must confess, the tales people tell of your adventures beggar belief, and their veracity has been the subject of much debate among my peers. After today's meeting, however, there can be no doubt in my mind that every incredible exploit is fact. I mean, as long as you don't talk to the Wandering Minstrel, he just makes shit up. So I ask you now, return to the past, find out what and where Pandemonium is, and if we need be concerned by this message. I mean, wasn't it supposed to be like a one-way trip, not one that I could just like go back and forth as much as I pleased? I mean, I know I can because of like game mechanics, but like lore-wise, I'm surprised that I'm just allowed to just go. Sorry. Um, Thank you. For the time being, you should keep the crystal in your possession. I do not think you've seen the last of its memories, and more may be drawn out as you approach their source. Safe travels, and may we meet again soon to share our finding. Alright. Um, oh yeah, I need to... Oh. Really? Okay. I guess they're gonna make me actually travel to the past, not just like teleport there. So I guess lore-wise, we are able to just come and go as we please. To the Docile Gate. Up we go. Oh, look at all these people here. Is this gonna be a... Am I gonna be in a cutscene if I talk to this guy? I don't think so. Maybe a later one? Can't imagine there's that many people doing the MSQ all at the same time. My destination. I walk up to it. That looks pretty cool. Shadowbringers MSQ sends you there a lot too. That's true. But I thought most of the cutscenes happen like when you're inside. Like they just like stick you inside and then you do a cutscene. If receives this message, then you may travel to the past. Poof. Come, pandemonium, quickly. Alright, I got some really cool screenshots there. Did somebody just punch me in the face? Who's gonna manifest me and make me whole? Going through to the past this way is oh wow. They've done way better this expansion with like emotes and like facial expressions. Emmett, I need you. Make me whole. So I'm not just a faded jade. Oh, I smacked into somebody. Is it? You look so young. Could it be? Wait, could it be? Do you know who I am? No, of course not. Apologies, but for the briefest moment I thought you to be a dear friend of mine. I realize now that such notion is preposterous. A Zem? Did you think I'm a Zem? Everyone makes that mistake, which is not entirely a mistake. She told me a falling star would appear before me, and I suppose you must be it, truth be told. I did not expect the expression to be so literal. I'm so confuzzled. Does Ari recognize him? She looks like she does, but like, I don't know how. Themis? Who the heck's Themis? I love Elvis. Just want to live here. Unsundered. Forever. Apologies for not introducing myself properly. My name is Themis. As you can see by my bare face, I am not one of Elpis's observers. Rather, I am come here on assignment, which has been more or less routine up until this very moment. You certainly do know how to make an entrance. I must wonder what brought you here, for it is plain that you do not belong here, or any place I know for that matter. I belong wherever I damn well please. I'm a Zem's familiar. I'm also here on assignment. I'm a Zem's familiar. That's the best way to introduce myself. Then people are like, ah, yes, Zem. She's a weird one. Makes perfect sense. It appears my initial impression was not so preposterous after all. I did not know my friend had such a unique familiar at her disposal. If you are here at Zem's behest, then I believe I can hazard a guess as to your purpose. You're here to investigate pandemonium, yes? Yes, but like, how did you know? If so, we may be able to help one another. But first, might I trouble you to explain how you came to collide with my skull? Well, you see, I came, from the future, yes. Is that what Ari's saying? What is she saying? I see. I see. What do you see? I believe that dispels any major doubts I had concerning your intentions. Apologies for being so intrusive, but you must understand this is an uncommon occurrence. Yeah, traveling. What the heck did she say to him? I shall pry no further, for I am well aware that we all have secrets we must keep. However, if I may, I would very much like to take a look at this crystal of yours. Oh, I told him about the crystal that I'm investigating, and not that I brought it from the future. I seem to have lost it. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. See, like, why is your nose big and red and round? Fascinating. Well, I cannot say much as to what it contains. It is clear that there are memories stirring within. Memories that speak of something gravely amiss in pandemonium. Is pandemonium a place? The facility extends beneath Elpis and is overseen by the words of La Hebrea. Oh, right. We were looking at him weird just because he had a white robe, right? Wait, but he's so young. How can he be an ex-convocation member? He's so young. It houses those creations that are highly valued as research subjects and highly dangerous to the star. Naturally, it is strictly guarded and under constant surveillance. Several days ago, however, an unnatural shift in the flow of its surrounding ether was detected. Soon thereafter, all communications from Pandemonium ceased. Ari's angry. I'm here as a representative of an organization that works directly with the convocation and have been tasked with investigating this incident. Now that there is some measure of transparency between us, might I offer a suggestion as to what we should do next? I want... God, why is this garbage? Crit. During the course of your investigations, you may discover valuable artifacts. These can be exchanged for equipment by speaking to Mylene in Emporia or Joel at Razahan. Alright. Well, what say you, Themis? Where familiars dare, Themis is eager to commence the investigation into Pandemonium. Now then, my proposal is a simple one. Let us journey to Pandemonium together. Our destination is the same, and I suspect the arrangements would work to our mutual benefit. Besides, I should have no trouble gaining us both access. I do hope you agree, for I would be loath to part ways from the falling star I had been waiting for so long. Originally, I planned to conduct my investigation with the friend I mentioned earlier. She had also noticed the anomaly near Pandemonium, so it only seemed natural that we should investigate it together. However, she eventually decided it would be unwise for both of us to go. If two members of our organization were seen poking our heads about restricted facilities, it could raise questions, you see. I decided to go alone, but she left me with these words: "Fear not, for in my absence a star shall fall before you." While I could not comprehend her meaning at the time, I believe now I understand. She does have a way of being right about these things. Was it Vanette? But how would she know? How would she know I'm coming back? Even so, her hints of what to come are generally more cryptic. I suppose I should have kept my gaze to the heavens. Suffice it to say, I'm grateful for your presence either way. As for the matter at hand, we must first gain permission from the words of La Abrea for entry into Pandemonium. There ought to be a speaker waiting at Agnorisis. Okay. Why do I have a pet? Wait, this is not my pet. Okay. Oh, there's other people here. Fair enough. Alright, where am I going? Probably get on a map. Oh, I can fly here too. Whee! On a massive ass mount. Ugh. I just want to stay in Elpis. Hang out with the Unsundered. Oh. Words of La Habrea speaker. I didn't realize that was going to be a person. What do you say, Themis? I sent a request for permission before setting forth to Elpis. With luck, we shall not be waiting long. This guy's kind of cute. He looks a little bit like Hermes. A little bit. What a fascinating etheric signature. Ahem. In accordance with the Convocation's request, the two of you have been granted leave to observe Pandemonium. I shall register your ether for the records. From this point on, you may freely come and go from Pandemonium as you please. Oh, that's convenient. Now that was a painless process. I take this as a sign that we were meant to conduct our investigation together. I feel like I should have put my robe back on. Of course, while you've been permitted entry into the facility, the specimen housed inside must be handled with the utmost care. You are to heed the warder's instructions at all times. I don't follow instructions very well. Those who conduct their work within Pandemonium are called warders for their roles with respect to the creatures within. Generally, creations that pose a threat to the safety of the star must be undone. However, the words of La Habrea was deemed certain such creations are worthy of further studying, interring them within the facility. I was just thinking, people were just speculating that it was Elidibus because he had a white robe, right? But, like, it doesn't make any sense, so I have no idea who this dude is. Those who spend their days in Pandemonium are not merely researchers. They must work tirelessly to ensure that none of their subjects slip the shackles. I have a feeling they're going to fail at that. For all intents and purposes, the place is a dungeon. Perhaps such comparisons arouse frightful imagery, but Pandemonium is a frightful place. Lovely. Well, it's getting dark out. I know not the purpose of your investigation, but if you discover aught that merits a report, pray do so with utmost haste. Master La Habrea shall guide us upon the proper course of action from there. Then I take it that means you have detected nothing amiss as of late? The warders have reported nothing that would cause alarm. Minor fluctuations in ether have been observed, but surely Master La Habrea would have acted if there were anything worth worrying about. I don't know about that. I see. It appears La Habrea is kept well abreast of the goings-on here, then. I hope I'm not overstepping my boundaries by asking, but you seem to be quite familiar with Master La Habrea. Do you know him? About that. I may have met him. I may have killed him. Might be many, many years in the future. I know him, we've met. Oh, the stories I could tell you. Yeah. They're like, You are no mere familiar, are you? Master La Habrea is not known for being generous with his time. That one would have stories of his company almost beggars belief. Well, you know, maybe in the future. Many thousands of years of time to have stories. Regardless, while I doubt I need to tell you this, he is of the Convocation. Take care that your actions do not hinder his work. And with that, we are free to make our way to Pandemonium. The naos that will take us there is on the eastern bank of the Leth. Let us delay no further. Oh, so we had to come here to get permission, but then we gotta go somewhere else? Alright, whatever. No, I'm gonna fly there on an egg. Alright. I'm guessing I need to go up. Oh, this is so pretty, that pillar. I like it. I don't think we had any reason to go to it, but it's got stairs. Stairs up to it. How did I never notice those before? Probably because I couldn't fly. Oh, this is really nice up here. Hmm. It appears to be a fate. I appear to not care. Oh my goodness. Ah, one of these things. Okay. I have to contain my surprise for the sake of appearances, but is it true that you too have met little Hebrea in the flesh? I find you more fascinating by the moment. Oh man, if only you knew how fascinating I am. Still, I shall refrain from asking too many questions. Secrets will make our journey all the more intriguing, if you say so. We shall come to know each other in time, I wager, or why else would fate have orchestrated our meeting? In any case, let us be off. Truth be told, this will be my first time beholding the fabled pandemonium with my own eyes. Here's to a new adventure, eh? Teleport to pandemonium. All right, sure. I was gonna say, is there really a whole zone for the raid? But I guess we had one for Omega, didn't we? Well, that's not ominous at all. Wait, who's this dude? Oh, that's him. His robes look black. Just because it's so dark. It is much as I feared. I feel like it's Halloween. The speaker seemed in such high spirits that for a moment I thought the ethereal irregularity not nearly so grave a portent as I had imagined. Alas, 'twas a fleeting and vain hope. To gaze upon this complex network of chains and wards, the untrained eye might not sense anything awry. No effort has been spared in making this place impenetrable. It's very spiky, very pointy. Even the finest of masterworks is not without its flaws, however. Someone or something is tampering with the protections. It is working from within, eroding them from the inside out. Fear not, there is no immediate danger. I reinforced what protections I could the moment we arrived. This would not put an end to whatever is occurring, but it shall at least serve to slow its progress. One small victory, though the road ahead of us is yet long. Yes, powerful forces are at work here. This is quite the intro. The silence in the air speaks volumes. While I did not expect a bustling facility, I see not a single warder. Our first course of action should be seek one out, wherever they may be. However, there's something you must know. The magic I wove upon entering requires my constant awareness. That is to say, if we are forced to fight, I cannot risk joining you in battle, of course. I'll just bring friends somehow to the past and, like, into pandemonium, even though they don't have permission to come here. How's that going to make any sense? Should I lose focus, pandemonium's protections will rapidly crumble before the force assailing them. Were there another way, I would gladly choose it, but at least be grateful that neither of us here is here alone, trapped in hopeless circumstances. If we should fail to find a peaceable solution, then I hope I can rely on your strength to see us through. You can count on me. Of course, you have my promise. The request doesn't come as a surprise, to be honest. Yeah, that one. At least you received it with good humor. Rest assured, I do not mean to stand by idly while you risk life and limb. I hope to be able to lend at least a touch of magical support. Creation magics do have their uses in that regard. I had it in mind to use your ether as basis for illusory allies that will fight at your side. Okay. Okay, that's... He can't fight with me, but he can create 7 more versions of me to fight with me. I'm not sure how that really makes a lot of sense, but whatever. Perhaps 7 shall do. Not exactly an army, but by the looks of you, a formidable band nonetheless. So basically, the lore version of raid is that my raid group is all me. Excellent. I am the most important person. It's more explanation than I usually give for why full parties exist. That is fair. But usually bringing people along doesn't seem quite so far-fetched as here in the past, where we can't really bring other people. Into Pandemonium, where we also really can't bring other people. Then so it shall be. Now, I wonder what awaits us in Pandemonium's pitless halls. Pitless? There looks like lots of pits. Asphodelos, the first circle, now accessible. Well, who's coming? Who's coming along? I assume Winter. Winter wants to be me. Who else wants to be a version of me? Ido? Alright, let me get on Discord. Where am I? Hello?
Hello.
Good, you can hear me?
Yes.
Cool, my audio has been messed up.
Hello. Or did I just...
Hello? No, you heard me. You heard me, right? Hello, I'm here. I hear you. Can you hear me? Winter.
Hello.
Hello.
I can hear you, yes.
Excellent. Who the heck is Themis?
Hello.
Oh, Ida wants to join. Okay, sorry, I didn't see you say sure. Partly because I wasn't paying attention, and I just saw that you were in a cutscene, so I assumed you were busy. Yeah, can you let me know when you're out of the cutscene, Ida? Ari's so cute, even if she is a sexy reindeer.
I've never found a reindeer sexy.
But you find Ari sexy?
No.
If...
That's not to do with the design. That's to do with the...
I know, I was gonna say, if I was a male Makoto, would you find Ari sexy?
Probably.
Okay.
Well, no, I suppose I could still appreciate her sex appeal.
I know, I can find her sexy. I'm not like... I don't want to have sex with her, but I can appreciate that she's sexy. All right. Ooh, Ido's gonna mentor us. Excellent. All right. I don't see anyone else who wants to come.
Switch to save.
Oh, you're carrying me as a healer again. Excellent. Excellent. It is helpful knowing that when I terribly screw up, because I don't know what I'm doing, that there is someone else who can heal. How does one... There we go. Join. Oh yeah, we have no... I have no idea what we were about to face. There was no indication. What happens if I click on the entrance? Does it just pop up the thing? Yeah. Ooh, tombstones with that's the tombstone we've had, right? I probably should get more. You've only done this once, so you're looking forward to dying? Excellent! Then I will be in good company, Ido. We shall have many, many a deaths. When I was talking about Ari being cute, I was remembering how Clay decided to come in and say that he didn't think Ari made a very good warrior of light. And I think he's wrong. Like, what the heck?
First you said that, and what did you say about White Mage the other day? That was blasphemous.
Oh, that a size should do damage.
Yes, that was it.
Uh, of course I have the terrible memory, but of course I can remember that Clay set aside shouldn't do damage. Uh.
And that's how Clay was put on a hit list.
Well, to be fair, Clay's already on a hit
Before
list.
Mage.
Wasn't his first infraction. But yeah, he said he thought that Ari didn't look very, I don't know, like she could be a
I saw
warrior
him
of light.
AFKing in Ultros before.
What?
I saw him AFKing in Ultros before. I was like, oh,
Oh,
it's Clay.
you saw Clay. I thought you were saying I'm sorry for AFKing in Old Charlie before, and I was like, what?
No, I'm not Canadian.
Where's everybody? Oh, we need tanks. Why does nobody want a tank? Aren't they supposed to? Oh wait, because nobody plays tank. That's right. That's right. Makes perfect sense.
I don't have my tank up to 90 yet.
That's okay.
I think it's 85.
It's okay. I'm not blaming you. I assume this like red glowy swirly thing will go away once we kill a boss. Maybe, or we'll just portal through it, and it'll exist here. Oh wait, no, I can just walk through it. All right. Guess it's not anything at all. All
What I want
right.
to know is
Why what?
why Yoshi P was so like not wanting to show the outside of the arena when he
Yeah,
was in this on the live letter.
I don't know, because it looks cool. Oh no! It's what, the warders? Is that what they're called? Ward wardens or warders?
Warders.
Warders.
Basically wardens then.
I'll save them. I must. You looked like you were running away, and not so much. Oh. Oh, okay then. It appears to be one of the warders you seek. I feared he's in no state to answer questions. Perhaps you can bring him. I hate that these go by so quickly. Can't read them out loud fast enough. All right. Well.
Did that still show up in the chat box?
Did what still show up? Oh, is this where I multiply? Excellent. Winter, you know you're me, right? And I'm you.
I'm a sexy reindeer.
Convenient how he made me as multiple different jobs and multiple different people, races, sexes,
Hey,
everything.
I want to see a clip of that where everyone looks the same.
That would be pretty hilarious. I'm sure someone will have done it. Alright, are we ready? I don't know what I'm doing. Nope, no, we're not pulling. Okay, there we go. Alright, let me pay attention and see what I can learn. And then Winter yell at me when I'm terribly wrong.
Never.
Alright, Jailer's Flail. I'm gonna guess it's gonna... That looks kind... No, it's totally gonna be an AoE. Oh no, a cleave on one side. Okay. He's flailing on the other side, so let's go over here. Warder's Wrath. AoE? Yeah, it sure was. Wow, I can actually get my first Lily stack before the first AoE damage comes out. That's pretty awesome. Pitless Flail. Okay. Oh, it's targeted on somebody. Okay. And then we have to stack on that same person? Jailer's Flail. It's stuck in the ground? Oh no, okay. Heavy Hand. That's probably going to be a tank buster. So, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see that until after I said it. Pretty much all tank busters have that symbol now, don't they? Don't really have to guess anymore. I'm overwhelmingly cold. Should I be in the hot side? I mean, I don't know, but I'm gonna guess I want to be over here. Now I'm very hot. Okay. I want to be somewhere cold. Oh wait, it's just a countdown. Okay. probably just stay here. Excellent. That was easy enough. I think there's gonna be... I'm trying to think how they make that harder in Savage. It's like, can there be more temperatures? But I'm not really sure you can do anything other than hot and cold. Tank Buster.
I mean, you could do like in Trinity Avowed, so stacks of cold and stacks of...
Yeah, that's true. That's true, because there was like 4, so that could be we have to do more than one at a time. Oh, okay. We got an interesting arena here. Not sure what I need to do here. Fire. I imagine we want to stand on ice, maybe? Yep, that seemed reasonable. Now ice. I want to stand on fire. Ice. Stand on fire again. Oh, he's swinging his thing. Okay, we want to be fudged. Did I make it? I think so. Alright, now I need to stand on fire. But he's flailing over here. Okay. Well, so far this seems pretty intuitive. Oh, that's on... Get away from me, silly. We're gonna have to stack on him after, if it's the same as the first time. Yep. Ether flail, and we want to be on ice. Okay, and on the left side.
I feel like there's going to either be more flails in Savage, more different versions of the flail, or
Yeah, there's probably gonna be like a side and an AoE one, and we're gonna have to be able to tell the difference. Slam shut. What's he slamming shut? AoE. I wondered if that's what that would be. Intemperance. I'm hot. I feel very hot. Okay, it goes from bottom to top, yes. I believe. It seems to be, yeah, okay. Cold. Now I need hot, so I want to be over here. Oh, wait. Oh. Does it give you whatever the next one is? Oh, okay, I need to get the hell out of here now. Oh, Winter, what happened? I was gonna say, aren't you supposed to be carrying me? Orders, Wrath. That was just an AoE, I believe. Yes, it was. Warders, I mean AoE again? My bubble's not big enough for everybody. Heavy hand, tank buster. Shining cells. Is this just a phase change? And AoE, yeah, okay. Okay, we want to be on ice, and we want to be over here, so I'm gonna go stand over here. That one back there is probably safe, but just to be safe, I want to be well over here. Now fire, I'm probably gonna need to go the other way. Yep. Oh wait, stand on ice. Wait, wasn't it just fire? Or am I wrong? Was I just standing on...
Oh, it was just fire.
Was that fire twice?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, let's target on Ido, then we want to stack on Ido. Yep, and Ido did anti-knockback. Oh yeah, inner and outer. Good call, CJ. Stand on fire. Stand on the other side of him. I also think there's gonna be, with the like squares and fire. That we're gonna have to do two at a time, and like you're gonna. I think it gives you my theory. I don't know. I might be full of shit. Is it gives you the next color in it, and that you're gonna have to make sure you prepare your next color to be something that exists, and like there'll be a pattern that, like there won't be any like fire in the last one, so you have to make sure that you're already fire or something like that. Like here, so I need to be ice, but my theory is that if I stand here, I should... No, that I'll get fire again if I stand here. If my theory is correct. I'm very wrong though, so that's not how that works at all. Although they could go a lot faster, so you have to pick like the right pattern. You're watching Momo's stream last night? Melee can reach from the outer screen. Oh, interesting. Well, that seemed pretty easy. I basically figured out all the mechanics as they happened. There was nothing, although it is the first fight and normal mode, so I shouldn't be too impressed with myself, but I'm a little bit impressed with myself. You figured it out, you're a scrub. I don't, just let me have my moment. Oh right, I actually care about stuff, don't I? I don't know what I want. I honestly don't know that I care either. I mean, let's need first on the body, because everybody... And legs. I got a 93 on legs. I don't know what I want. Kind of actually need accessories though. Not gonna lie. I don't know, can I just like greed on this stuff? I'll still end up getting it though, won't I? Oh, maybe somebody wanted head real bad? Okay. I got hands, whatever. Two commendations. Who doesn't want head real bad? Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna mute myself on Discord real quick. Just, not that I think you guys are gonna talk, but just while I do the story. Should I just... Yeah, I can't deafen myself without muting, so later. Alright, Themis. That was a thrilling display, and if I may be so vaunting, the warriors I spun from your ether fought even more splendidly than I had anticipated. He's impressed with you guys. I suppose they were cut from excellent cloth after all. We should wait until this man regains his senses. If he wears a robe of a warder, and I would be very curious to know what drove him to attack us sight unseen. So wait? If he's spinning the party from my ether? What are you getting at, CJ? If you end up in an absolute scrub, is it really your own fault? Yeah. Basically. Well, it just means that, like, clones of you are inferior to, the real thing. I'm not sure what it says when your clones are better than you, though. Ari, he stirs. When did I tell you my name? I suppose he never really told me his name was Themis, either. Just was over his head. Eric? We're gonna call this guy Eric. What's his name? Eric Thonois? How the heck would you pronounce that? Erich Thonois? He's Eric. This is just Eric. What came over me? So our first fight was against Eric. Good to know. Was that the name of the guy we were fighting? Like the boss? The boss's name? It's coming back to me. My mind was filled with a storm of desperation, anger. I leapt at you, though I knew not of your intentions. Okay, well, the first boss is Eric. Got it. Pray accept my apologies and my thanks. Had you not knocked some sense back into me, I may have fallen upon someone less capable of defending themselves. Yes, I am the best. And there was 8 of me. I am Eric, a warder of Asphotelos, Pandemonium's highest layer and the place we're in now. One must wonder why you were so desperate to keep us out. What is happening in Pandemonium? The creations interred with Asphotelos have been set free and stalk its home to no halls to no end but violence. That is not good, to say the least. Has this ever happened before? No, never. Each level of Pandemonium is under the charge of a key ward who keeps strict controls over the most minute aspects of their domain. They're selected with great care, and their loyalty to Master La Habrea is absolute. Yet something has gone terribly wrong. Try as we might to hold the line, the chaos within is overwhelming. I hardly realized that I had become separated from my colleagues. I remember a chorus of whispers assailing my senses, and afterwards only flashes of rage and fury, then blackness, from which I awoke to find that whatever had overcome me was gone. I see. Your senses may have been muddled by magics that affected the mind. Perhaps the selfsame ones saw you separated from the other warders. Whatever had taken a hold of me, thank you for releasing me from its clutches. That you've come here from the surface must mean some word of our plight has reached the outside world. If you know anything that may help, pray tell. Yeah, about that. We don't really know anything. Oh, do we know things? I mean, it seemed like no one else out there knew that there was a problem in Pandemonium either. I mean, I came from the future and he just like showed up, so I think you're on your own, dudes. Horror among horrors! So Pandemonium's protections are indeed being dismantled from within. By the same individual or individuals that released its captives and set them upon you, no doubt. Such knowledge avails us little, however, if we cannot ascertain their identity. Themis, was it? You said you worked for an organization under the auspices of the Convocation. Were they to receive word of what has transpired here, what measures would they take? Doubtless they would consider this place to be a lost cause. Pandemonium's ties to the outside world would be severed, and perhaps it would be wiped from existence entirely, including everyone inside? That seems a little harsh. Is that their only solution? If something goes wrong, just unmake it completely? Little harsh. Maybe you should learn to, like, fix your problems instead of just making them disappear. As I thought, were the creatures to escape into the outside world, there would be untold carnage. The words of La Habrea would never risk that, despite what value the research subjects may hold. Probably, but considering how easy it is for them to remake something, yeah, but seems a little harsh. Simple but effective, yeah. But we were taught by Hermes that leads to the end of that leads to the end of days. What? Fixing your problems or just unmaking everything and remaking it? You mean he was against unmaking? Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. So if we don't unmake things, then we bring about the end of days. So we should just continue unmaking things and not worry about things that have been unmade. Just accept it. I mean, that's not what led to the end of the days. It was just that Hermie being against unmaking looked into questions that he should not have asked and created Medion to answer said questions that he should never have asked. And then he found answers that he didn't like and went crazy. No, yeah, Hermes stupid questions. Yeah. Yeah, he just asked some dumb questions. Because wasn't it like as soon as he told Emmett, I think it was Emmett, as soon as Emmett heard what question he asked, or even before that, he was like, what happens if the answer that you get, what is your question? I'm like, somebody was really concerned about the wording of his question, even before we knew what happened in that the answer would lead to issues. All the more reason to work with haste. If we can't expect further help, then it falls upon me to save the others. I'll not leave them behind. Well, I'll help you. Because you can't unmake me. Well, I don't know. Could they unmake me? I mean, if it's not something you created yourself, can you uncreate it? How does that work? How does uncreating things work? Can just anybody uncreate anything? That seems a little, OP. You would go alone? I won't leave the other warders to face certain doom. I know they fight for survival even now. They wouldn't abandon their duties. They would see the creatures return to their cells at all cost. I mean, let's not even go into the fact that he created small little girl bird creatures to set out. Hermes was not of sound reason from the start. That reminds me. I read a really interesting, I can't remember the details of it, but somebody made a really interesting comparison that that Medion being represented by a bluebird was like a good representation of Twitter or something. I forget the details of it, but it was like, oh yeah, is this Square Enix's commentary on Twitter? uh, Never ask questions on Twitter. You heard Mr. Happy talking about that? That's who you mean by Haps, right? I wish I remembered the detail, but I remember reading it and being like, oh, that's really interesting. Alright. What do you have to say, Eric? And so I must do the same, Themis. I know the request I'm about to make of you is a monumental one, but please, say not a word of this to the convocation until I've been given a chance to set things right. That sounds problematic. Forgive my rudeness, Eric, but my decision cannot be swayed by emotion. You would only be consigning yourself to an early death. Strength of resolve alone cannot win in the face of overwhelming odds. Bring Ari. That being said, our investigation has only just begun, and we would be remiss to turn back ere we've made an exhaustive survey. So, for the time being, there is slightly more than resolve to rely upon. It's me, the sexy reindeer. I'm here to solve all your problems. Heh, I knew you would be all too eager to join us. Each moment since you fell from the skies has been more interesting than the last. More and more you remind me of my dear friend. Which goes some way towards encouraging me that this matter will yet reach a satisfactory conclusion. You remember seeing someone do like serious Endwalker MSQ cutscenes as a reindeer? Are you saying that these aren't serious Endwalker? I mean, it's not MSQ, but it's serious Endwalker stuff. And I'm a reindeer. I'm just in the Christmas spirit, guys. It's not a commentary on how I feel about these cutscenes. So, you agree to help. I mean, I'm just saying, like, serious MSQ and serious raid quests. I don't really see a big difference between where it's appropriate to be a reindeer in one and not the other. For the moment, our goals align. The protective magics of Pandemonium yet hold, so for the moment, time is in our favor. Let us proceed upon the course you and Ari have set upon us. I'm starting to think it's a good idea that I just went straight into raiding, because I'm not sure that there'll be time for roulettes by the time I'm done this. You're just hoping that the animals in Pandemonium think you're a harmless creation. I mean, I am a harmless creation, because I'm not a creation at all. Or you're hoping the records don't recognize you and mess up the timeline. Themis and Ari, yes, thank you. The warders owe you a great debt already. I'm in disguise. I feel like I should have my robe on. I want to, you can dye the robe, right? I want to take the robe and like dye it like a fancy color, like blue or something, and be like, look, I'm in the robe, but I'm gonna be my own color because I'm special. We shall be glad to have someone familiar with Pandemonium's halls by our side. A party of 3 is ever so much more entertaining than a pair of 2. Now let us turn our attention to rescuing your colleagues. Perhaps it would be wise to approach the gates, in case any have followed you out. It is dyeable. Nice. Actually, I can maybe do that right now. I just gotta remember to put on my actual gear before I go into combat. That's the only thing making me nervous about switching. Give me crit. I'm confused though. Why? So Savage 8, so Materia 9 is less than 8 because 8 is 24. But is there a reason why you can't overmelds with 8? Can you not overmeld with any of the even numbers? I'm just trying to remember because they definitely like, yeah, no, but like why can't you overmeld with 8? That's what I want to know. Okay, somewhere in my armor I have a robe. Where is it? Oh no, maybe I stuck it in I think I might have stuck it in the what the heck is this? Oh, this is Reaper. In my words, you know. You know the place. My glamour chest. That's the word I'm looking for. It's like the six's last expansion, same pattern as last expansion. Why? To give you something to do. I guess you can use it for the first overmeld, but not the later ones. Okay. I mean, yeah, whatever. If that is how it worked last time, I just do whatever people tell me to do and don't think too hard on it usually. It seems our investigation will be quite the ordeal after all. Still, I find it hard to believe that La Habrea knows not of what has transpired here. Whoever the mastermind of this crisis is, they need not lack for power and cunning. What if it is La Habrea all along? Also interesting that the raid waiting room is an individual raiding room instead of a share. Oh yeah, you're right. Interesting. Although perhaps it would not make a whole, well, I was gonna say it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for there to be other people here, but I don't know that it made a lot of sense for there to be a lot of people outside of like Omega and Eden either. And it also didn't make a lot of sense for you to see anybody in Elpis at all. So that is interesting. Under the surface, Eric is peering into the depths of pandemonium. Did we see anything? Not a sound can be heard from within, which means neither creature nor warder has made it this far. We should begin forming a plan to save them at once. As many people as were in Elpis, Elizabeth set up a subway there from the ocular. I know, right? It made no sense. No sense at all that there was other adventures in Elpis. They never addressed it either. Just pretend no one else is here. Forgive me if I misunderstand, but do you mean to rescue the warders and creations both? Yeah, why not? Hey, they don't usually have belts, do they? This guy's got a belt. Is that what makes a warder? Imagine how much ether Emmett actually used for all of them. Imagine how grumpy he was having to deal with all those. Imagine, oh man, that must have been like Emmett's nightmare. All these like Azem familiars running around bothering him. With Fate and Huntrains, the entire hordes of people, yeah. His fingers be soft from clicking. uh, Naturally, although they may be dangerous, they're valuable research subjects. We wouldn't see our labor, our untold hours of study go to waste. You can just remake it again, though. I dare say La Habre would smile to hear you say such a thing. That is, if we had cause to report this incident to him. Wait! Is this guy La Habrea? Like, no, everyone said that, like, no one ever really saw La Habrea, right? So maybe he's La Habrea and, like, no one knows who he is. You've seen theories about him being La Habrea? This whole comment makes me very suspicious that that this guy is just La Habrea. I don't want to, but like I don't understand why he'd be in white robes though. That's the only thing throwing me off of this theory. Because to have white robes, you need to be. Oh, the theory you keep seeing is that Themis will be Elidibus and Eric will be La Habrea. That doesn't really. That seems too obvious. Also, I don't see how Eric is La Habrea. Although maybe. I suppose that could have happened. This exchange could have happened if he's La Habrea. But, like, I think people would know that Themis is Elidibus, although I suppose no one's told us that he's not Elidibus. But, like, he also doesn't have he doesn't have the Asian red mask. Um, I know we don't know their normal names. You're letting me speculate. Well, it means they're retired, but also the Elidibus role wears white robes, I believe, is what people have said. And so white robes either means you're retired or wait, these are gray? I mean, they look gray here, but I'm pretty sure they were white outside. He got a lot grayer when we came into Pandemonium. But they also talked about he also talked about working for some like he works for the convocation. But we don't know anything about this like organization that he works for, this sketchy organization. I feel like him being a little bit is a little too obvious. So I want to believe that he's La Habrea. I think that would be much more hilarious for us to find out that we've been like hanging out and chumming around with La Habrea of all people. I think it's more likely and it's less crazy to think we'd like hang out and chum around with Elidibus. Like, has La Habrea ever done anything for us? He was just against us, and then we killed him. Whereas, like, Emmett, we had his moments, and like Elidibus, he sent us to the past, anyways. Like, so he did something for us. But La Habrea has just done nothing at all. Couldn't afford the pure white dye. To be fair, Vanat doesn't wear pure white dye either. All right, let's keep going. I don't think Eric is, because he's a warder. It wouldn't make sense that a random warder was actually a member of the convocation. I don't think that they have any reason to like disguise themselves. Elidibus did say he remembered us in Elpis, so yeah, we should meet Elidibus at some point. So yeah, him being Elidibus does make more sense. Dusty from stomping around the moon does, yeah. I don't think Eric. I would be shocked if Eric is a member of the convocation. I don't think that makes any sense at all. Smile. I'm not sure his face is capable of such warmth. Oh, so this guy has met. Wait, this guy has met La Habrea then. So he would know if Themis was La Habrea. So that kind of ruins that plan, that idea. You don't think either of them are convocation, but that doesn't make sense. Why Themis is wearing a white robe? Because that either means he's Elidibus like he's actually Elidibus, or he's a post-convocation member, not a pre-convocation member. For everything we know, although he says he's some weird convocation organization, which maybe they wear white robes, but no one's commented on his white robes yet. Whereas, like, people commented on Emmett being a member of the convocation, like, as soon as he stepped into Elpis. Although I'm not so much sure that people made comments on Vanna. She just, like, wandered around and was awesome. And we got told that her white robe meant something. But no one else seemed to comment on it that I can recall anyways. Moondust is an actual weather condition? Nice. uh... Ah, so you've met him before. I was under the impression he rarely visited Pandemonium. Also, like, I feel like most of the convocation currently should be the people, like, the people in those positions should be the ones that we know. Because, like, we know that Hermes was about to take, Van Daniel's position, but I don't think that they switch out positions that often, and we're actually, like, pretty close to the final days, like, it's not like we're, like, a long way off from the final days. Does white robe mean they can't turn into a convocation? But is this after or before that? Oh, you mean we could have gone further? See, but if we can go back to a different time period, I feel like we should go back to before Hermes makes Meteon and, like, stop that all. Like, if we can just, like, pick times. Do we? Are you asking? Do we know if the final days are like close? Because I kind of assumed so. But I mean, I suppose we don't actually know. But I feel like Meteon's already out there. Like, didn't we see Themis in the 6.0 post credits yet? Yes, we did. What are you getting at, CJ? Um, we also wouldn't be corporeal. I mean, I was surprised that I was corporeal when I first went to Elpis in this question. I was surprised by that. I thought we needed to hunt down Emmett to give us a corporeal form stat. Sure, he would have loved that. Um, yeah, we only had a body in a normal size because of Emmett. Yeah. I assume that this is the same time period. I'm just not clear how close it is to final days. Yeah. I mean, I assume it is since we know that Meteon is already out there freaking out. And she's already said she wants to destroy um Atheris, right? So like why would she not be like just getting on top of that right away? Or do you think it's taking her time to figure out how to start the final days? Maybe this is Iggy whatever they're called. Maybe. Wasn't Iggy female though? The one that we knew? I always had the sense that they were female, but like maybe I don't know anything. How do we know this is a lady? Fair. Fair. I don't think it is though. He's uh well, yes, but we don't know that this guy's not going to become sundered. Ah, she had a female voice. Yeah. Cool. I was gonna say, do we know that any of the Asians were female? But yes, we do know because yeah, Iggy had a female voice, and also whatever Asian Gaia was supposed to be, right? Because that other dude was in love with her. Although Lawgriff, yeah. Although there's no say like it seems like they kept with the same gender when they found people, right? Or are the sundered person always the same gender? Because they very specifically make a Zem be whatever match whatever gender you are. Whereas I was like, they could have just made a Zem and said that a Zem was male, and like we could still be whether you're male or female, a sundered version of a Zem. But they do specifically match it to your gender. All right, I should probably continue. So you met him before. I was under the impression he rarely visited Pandemonium. Yes, I have. My mentor was the previous head of this facility, that is to say, La Habrea's predecessor in the position of chief keyword. Wait, La Habrea is chief keyword? And his mentor was the previous La Habrea? Is that what this is saying? That's what I'm gathering from this. But I'm confused a little bit. Because I didn't think La Habrea was a keyword. Her name was Athena, and she was researcher with the words. 'Twas she who appointed me to this position, in fact. I see. I did not know there was a chief keyword before La Habrea. Your motivation to save your research subjects is not entirely driven by duty to the words, then. You also wish to preserve the work of your mentor. I think La Habrea's being a keywords aren't connected, maybe. Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering if they're like, they were the keyword and then became La Habrea, and it was the previous keyword who also became La Habrea, or they were a keyword and they were just a keyword. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just really confused by that. You don't think Athena became La Habrea? Yeah, maybe. But then what happened to Athena? They just decided to die. You've the right of it. I'm lacking in ideas of how to go about that, however. I'm a mere warder and cannot wield interment magics. Ah, but of course I can hardly expect you to be versed in the magics we use here. If you recall, during our battle earlier, I bound you in ethereal shackles. Really? I was in Ethereal Shackles? When? Was that the ice and fire thing? Interment is more of a refined and powerful magic based upon the same principles. Yeah, everything was chainy. Was it chainy? I don't remember it being chainy. I just remember I had a buff, a debuff. While both are used to keep our subjects docile, only the keyword of each tier is permitted to use interment. Maybe if I were allowed the lack of aptitude to use the spell to I lack the aptitude to use the spell to any notable effect. I commented on the arena changing. I know, but like he said he cast chains on us, but that was like chains on the ground. Ari's in Ethereal Shackles so often she doesn't remember any given instance, especially in the Ulta apartment. Ulta apartment? You mean Ishgard apartment? Who's chaining me up in Ulta? The arena was surrounded by like a bubble of chains, so technically we were in. Oh, okay then. I see. I would expect chains in Limsa. Who hasn't? Wait, who hasn't chained me up in Ulta? CJ. What are you saying? Fascinating. I have some knowledge of these forms of spellcraft, actually. Lahabray himself established their foundation, if I recall. Hmm. While shackles are meant to bind an object in place for a short time, interment freezes the very space around it for as long as the caster wills. You haven't chained me up in Ulda? You're waiting for CJ. Fair enough, fair enough. Um, Indeed, while the illusory beings you summoned in our fight suggested as much, I see your knowledge of magic is vast. Perhaps you've already mastered the art of interment, and I've been lecturing you like a child all this time. I'm afraid my knowledge ends there. I've not the precise understanding of how invocations interact with natural laws that would be needed to cast said spells with any consistencies. If you weren't grading final papers, you'd definitely chain Winter up in Ulda or get chained up in Ulda. Who's doing the chaining here? Are you just gonna alternate? While I consider myself well versed in various magics, I would be ill advised to assume the duties of keyword without instruction. That being said, if I were to learn more of internment and its inner workings, perhaps. You're versatile. No preference. Winter, do you have a preference? Well, you have a warder standing in front of you. Leave the fighting to me. You two can figure out the rest. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about this internment crap. I just want to punch stuff or whack it over the head with my staff. I dare say we can do just that. Eric, you implied that what prevented you from performing internment was lack of magical capacity. What if I supplemented your power with my own? Would the spell succeed then? I can't say for certain. I've never heard of such a thing being done. I believe this might be our best recourse. That is, of course, assuming you can perform the initial rites and incantation flawlessly. Oh, no pressure. Even the smallest misstep and we would have to start over. Well, I suppose if starting over is the worst thing that happens, then might as well try. Winter doesn't mind some chains, paper chains, daisy chains, metal chains. You needn't worry about that. I've seen the spell cast so many times that their emotions have been burned into my memory. I won't disappoint. Very well, let us work out the specifics afterwards. Once we do, we can test out our methods on one of the escaped creatures, though I suppose there's the matter of finding one. It would be foolish to rush in blindly lest we find ourselves surrounded with naught but an untested stratagem at our disposal. Now I'd prefer to engage a single creature that Ari could dispatch on her own if the spell were to go awry. You dislike Eric's hair? It's a weird color with a skin tone. Yeah, it kind of is. I don't really mind it though. It's very shiny. It's like his hair is metal. I agree, and I may have an idea in that regard. I recall seeing I recall seeing the hippocampus wandering the waterways during my flight. Perhaps it's still there. So, fight number 2 is the hippocampus? Few of the subjects housed within the Aphosdalos are fond of water, and I believe we'll be able to engage the beast without fear of unwanted guests. Then that shall be our first target, or perhaps subject is a better term. Before we commence with the interment magic, the creature should be weakened to a sufficient degree. I believe I can trust you with that task. Hippocampus is something about memory or the brain or something like that. Oh, yeah. As dependable as ever. Once you've given it a thorough trouncing, we shall bind the hippocampos with the keywords magic. Until then, my illusions shall fight by your side. The hippocampos will be alone, but it's a daunting opponent nevertheless. Its magic warps the environment around it, and it will be at home amidst the waterways. Steel yourself for a fight. Quest accepted. The second circle is now accessible. Alright. I think before I queue for this, though, I want to take a quick 3-minute break since it's been like an hour and a half already. So don't go anywhere. I will be back momentarily, and then I will queue us for this fight. Let me know if anyone else wants to join if you're kicking around on Primal. Be right back. There may be other clues nearby. We should investigate further. An impression on the edge of the lily pad suggests someone knelt here, perhaps to draw water. Flurries of tiny bubbles break the water's surface at regular intervals. Some manner of creature is hiding under the lily pad, perhaps. Are they hiding under there? More of the same plant taken. What could it possibly be? Oh, there's more. Resting at the bottom of the pool is an animal carcass overgrown with plant life. Perhaps it fell while foraging for food. Fine scorch marks are evidence on the leafage, reminiscent of those left by sage magic. Leaves scorch marks? Traces of ice. Someone recently fought here. A proficient wielder of magic. The fugitives may be close. Be on your guard. Ooh, this music change. Found them. Fugitives, in the name of the Forum, I demand you to surrender yourself at once. Of all the weapons to bear against us. No matter. I warned you once and I won't warn you again. I mean, I should be warning you. You don't know who you're messing with. His weapons look cooler than mine, though. Even if mine do look like little baby Ragnaroks. Toxicon is instant, has the same single target as posted. Okay. Stand back, I've got this. Oh, okay. I have to fight all of them now? I am back. Alright. Who's ready for some raids?
Kind of.
Is Ido ready? I assume Ido's ready.
She's finished hitting rock.
I guess I'll do it. Official ready check though. Just cause Ido doesn't like to use his voice and likes to click buttons. Alright, if I click on the entrance, that it... Wait, it gives me the options to enter the first circle? But, like, why? Alright, Q. What do these guys say while I'm waiting? I take it we are each ready to fill our respective roles. Truth be told, this will be the first time I've practiced magic that requires such a degree of cooperation between the parties. How thrilling. Athena ever drove home the fact that our subjects should be treated with the utmost care. It would be best that we could see them confined once again rather than disposed of like beasts gone feral. Well, somehow I suspect this isn't going to go quite as nicely as he hoped. I'd ask what you guys think, but I know that you know answers. Why are there like beastmen with snakehead statues here? That's so bizarre. All right. Let's see how this one goes.
Boss in the Elf's dungeon. The second one?
Oh, is that one of the bosses?
The one where you have to like
Zero
see where its
recollection
head's
of
going.
that. I don't remember. That looks like a chimera. Or what the? That looks like more than one thing. Yep, multiply me. Look at my duplicates. Is that thing's head attached to its body? It's not, is it? Pretty sure it's not. This raid series had you looking up all the Greek names. Fair enough. Alright. Ready to carry me, Winter?
Yes.
Excellent. Oh, we get a countdown? Crazy. Alright. Murky Depths. I bet it's an AoE. It is an AoE. Winter, it's all you. I haven't got Lily's yet. How long is the open? I have no idea. You think I know these things, CJ? Oh, Tank Buster. Oh, there's shared Tank Buster. Alright. Things pointing in two directions. Oh, right, because he has two different heads. Oh, that's interesting. That it gives you hitboxes for both of them. I knew his head wasn't attached to his body. Why is everybody over there? Oh, I guess that was a little bit closer. Winter's over here with me. Where'd you come from, Winter?
Yes.
Murky Depths. Oh, AoE. Sewage Deluge. That also sounds like an AoE. Oh, look at that. It was. Oh. Was there an extra hit after that? Or was that like a shield and then did you use Pepsi?
I use Pepsi.
Okay, I thought that's what I saw. It looks so weird on the hit bars because it looks like you give people health and then take it away. But I think I said you just give them shields and then take it away. What happens if we stand in the water? Like I get the sense. Oh, okay. Be my friend. Why did that person try to run away from this? Oh, I think I want to get knocked like this. Yeah, sure, that works. What happens if you stand on the grates? Does that do anything?
No, that's extra place for you to stand.
Okay. Oh, this person has dropsy. That's why they're taking so much damage. Okay, there's a head
Yeah,
over
they're
there.
gonna card you, aren't they?
Okay.
Oh my god.
I assume it's gonna dash across, and that we want to be over here. Yes. Oh, it was like half the arena. Damn, that was bigger than I was expecting. I thought it was only gonna be a third. Okay. Tank needs to take that shit away from us. Oh, yeah, okay.
5-10. Should be also. Does not
Oh.
another AoE in 6 seconds, never mind. Oh,
Is it gonna be in time? No, it's just gonna be a little slow, isn't it?
yeah. Ugh.
Tragic. Sewage deluge isn't. I'm just gonna put my thing down. Don't deal anything.
Did you get? How did that get? Oh,
What happened? Spoken
wait.
cataract? What is that? I don't know what that is. Oh, this. Oh god. Oh dear god. I screwed up. Sewage eruption. Imagine that's gonna be damage. Oh. Oh, no. This stuff. Okay. Oh. That's, you could very easily screw that all up. I guess just on the sides somewhere? Oh, wait. Wait, what? Why did it go sideways? Tainted flood.
Did what go sideways?
The head side. Oh dear god. The AoE
The head
went
does half of the arena.
sideways. Oh, okay. No, I need friends! Come be my friend! Oh dear god.
Oh god. One part I hate about
Fuck.
is
Winter.
that everyone spreads out so much.
Yeah. I'm afraid. Okay. We need to be on this side of the arena. We probably have a lot of time. I want to be knocked back over here. Don't get knocked the other way. Those people are gonna die. Oh, there's a lot of people that are gonna kill themselves. Oh, they didn't. Oh, where'd that guy go? Oh, he just ran through the middle. Alright.
Hey, the tank.
Tank privilege. Disassociation. That's a new one. No?
Where the head
Oh.
goes.
Okay. That makes sense. Sewage eruption. Oh. Oh. No, come back over here. Yeah, I keep wanting to use Asylum, but like everybody's so spread out. Like nobody stands it anyways. Murky depths, that's AoE.
We're standing it here.
I know, only because we had to group up. And people are already trying to get out of it. Murky depths, that's AoE again, right?
We don't have to stand on the green. So we can stack if need be.
Yeah, but it's not like everybody's going to. Oh, tank buster, but like shared tank buster? Okay, they are both over there. Is that the AoEs underneath us?
That's the AoE that starts.
Oh. That starts this. Tainted Flood. What is Tainted Flood? Oh, this thing. Okay. Oh dear god, there's too many of us. Sorry, Winter.
That's alright. I didn't have one.
Yeah.
Cataract. Watch out where you're going.
I don't know where I'm going.
Up there.
Oh,
AM
this
to me, but then
person.
I also
Oh,
pressed speaker.
Alana's trying to die. Okay, there, okay.
Oh, it's because she AM'd to me across.
I'm a pro Savage Raider. You're the normie scrub. Spoken Cataract. I don't remember what that was. Oh, that's just his rando thing.
Very much not random, but yeah.
What was Tainted Flood? This thing. Okay. My God. Oh, please be my friend. I only need one friend, right? Oh dear God.
I got a Chin. Oh no, heal first.
Yeah. Oh, ouch, my face. Who do you want to raise? Chindrax?
Yeah.
Okay, I can get OxyClean. Oh my God, I'm blind. Oh, there's a head coming over to me. I am getting away from
I know
it.
what happened there.
Did your raise not go off? Oh, this is... I don't like this at all. How about we just do an anti-knockback? That sounds like a good idea. Oh, no, that
No,
was a
not.
bad idea.
I saw that happening in real time. That's great.
I'm sorry. I was like, let me just do an anti-knockback, but I don't think it's gonna work, so let me run to the right it was more of a... it was my backup in case I didn't get there in time, but then I did get there in time, so then having that up was bad. Bad news. Alright. Well, thank you. Thank you, Winter. Yeah, oh, did I accidentally kill it before you guys could do your binding garbage?
They're just binding corpses at the moment.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. I just killed it. My bad. No, we don't technically kill things, right? We just knock them out. Or wait, no, that's us that gets knocked out. We definitely kill
I mean,
things.
technically we don't unmake them.
That's true. That is true. But like, what's the difference between unmaking something and killing something?
I don't know.
I will commend the tank. Sure. I already. What did I get? Hands? I kind of want another pair of hands. I didn't get them. Body? I got a body. All right. Well, let's pass everything else then. I wish it would auto pass things. That's the real quality of life change we need. If you
Just got belts rid of, okay? So wait.
I will be greedy if I want. Just because they got rid of belts doesn't mean they can't also auto pass things when we can't roll in it anyways. All right, I'm gonna mute myself. I'll be back. So back to watch and stream to you guys. All right, Themis, what say you? That was a trial by fire, or water, I suppose, but I had faith we would see it through, so long as we had your stout arm, of course. I knew that you were no mere mercenary, but to make such clean work of the hippocampus, seasoned fighters scarcely have occasion to visit Pandemonium, let alone display their skills. Excuse me. Mastery takes all forms indeed. Needless to say, our plan worked out to perfection, in no small part thanks to you two. Themis' power was more than enough to complete the internment. Spellcasting was never my strong suit, but that almost made me feel like a proper magos. Truly, having seen your abilities firsthand in the fight with Ari, I beg to disagree. Shackles is the one exception, and 'tis only because I've been forced to practice it since I was but a small child. Why is he forced to practice shackles since he was a small child? That smells suspiciously of something. Something suspicious. Other magics leave me feeling completely out of my depths. Regardless, it seems luck is on my side. To guide me to you, we may prove the impossible possible after all. Give me some crit. After witnessing the hippocampus's capabilities, I should not blame you for wishing to avoid engaging any further creations in the place of their choosing. Alas, I doubt we'll have that luxury. I'm fine. It's fine. The fires of creation. Themis is pondering the road ahead. While our success in sealing away the hippocampus is certainly heartening, the fact that we have yet to see any other warders concerns me. The key word of Asphodelos is nothing if not cautious. Doubtless he has gathered what warders he could and retreated to a safe area. Let us hope so. It occurs to me that I know little of the key wards besides their magical prowess. Is there aught more you can share? No. Of course, a man named Hesperos is in charge of Asphostelos. Not only does he have knowledge of the creatures here, but he takes great pains to be a mentor to each of the warders under his charge. Oh my. Do you like this guy, CJ? He is a very... He has a... I don't know what the word is. There is something about him. But oh my is not the words that came to mind for me. He has daddy energy. That's also not the words I would have chosen, but fair enough. Not only does he have thorough knowledge of the creatures here, but he takes great pains to be a mentor to each of the warders under his charge. He has done much to ensure that I flourished here in spite of my ineptitude at magic, and I've always known him to be the sort of man who faces difficult decisions with unwavering composure. Ethics professor energy. Also not words I would choose. Furthermore, keywords are not only masters of interment, they can also bend the hallways of pandemonium to their wills with creation magics. With all this in mind, I am certain that so long as Hesperos guides them, the other warders are safe. We don't know that he guides them. You test his ethics, Winter. I can see why absolute control over the environs is imperative. Had we faced the hippocampus upon arid sands instead of waterways, I suspect the battle would have ended much more quickly. In any case, if this Hesperos is capable and as caring as you say, we would do well to seek him out as soon as we can. He has like as not taken your colleagues to a secure location. The safest place would be the innermost circle of Asphodelos. From there, they could flee to Abyssos if hard pressed. Abyssia? Even should they have sought safe haven within the other circles, if we make for the fourth, we ought to encounter them on the way. Are we in the first circle? I assume the next area would be the second circle, but is it going to be the... Oh, wait. No. The circles are... Never mind, I'm lost. Oh god, you hope not? Wait, what do you hope not? I'm struggling to remember what that's in relations to. Indeed, we shall gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation within Asphodelos. You've had enough trauma seeing... Oh, Abyssia. You had enough trauma seeing Promethean mobs on the moon. I don't want Abyssia or anything anyway. Fair enough. I think FN was a little traumatized to see Promethean mobs too. Indeed, we shall gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation within Asphodelos. I'm sorry that I'm butchering the name of that. Which will be essential in determining whether we ought to continue down to Abyssia. The rub, of course, is that I myself possess no power to bend the circles to my will. Instead, we must proceed through the central corridor, which was barred by the Phoenix. The Phoenix? Barred by the Phoenix, last I checked. Phoenix? I've heard the name before. A fiery bird with eternal life. No, that's Phoenix. This is the Phoenix. Ari's like, I don't think so. I think you're mispronouncing this. Beyond unquenchable brilliance, the perfected concept boasts nigh boundless restorative powers, if I recall. Truly an exemplary feat of creation magics. Perfection is ever built on the backs of failure, however, and La Habrea suffered countless missteps during his experiments. You're very familiar with La Habrea and what he does. That's why I think he's La Habrea. But I don't think it makes sense, because Eric has met La Habrea. So somebody's been hiding who they are for that to make sense. And he was hardly the only one. This Phoenix would be one of many attempts at the concept gone awry. Aye, far from evoking wonder, our Phoenix is a creature of fury and wrath, and seeks only to turn the world to ash. Thus was it confined within Pandemonium. Development of the concept continued elsewhere, but as the moons turned, more and more researchers abandoned the project as an impossibility, save for La Habrea and his words. When I received word that long last that La Habrea had succeeded where so many others had failed, I was nearly overcome. Pray tell, how did the warders of Pandemonium celebrate their master's accomplishments? Do they know the meaning of celebration? I don't believe we did. See? They don't know the meaning of it. The research of the words of La Habrea has little consequence to our work here, save for the rare times it charges us with a new specimen. Truth be told, I don't remember anyone making note of the occasion. But enough reminiscing, we must make ready to confront the Phoenix. While it's possible it flew off to some other wing of Pandemonium, we would make the assumption at our own peril, better to assume that we'll need to bring Asphalotos's most unruly subject to heel. I certainly see no reason to delay. The Phoenix's power over the flame will avail it far less in a barren corridor than anywhere else. So it may well serve us to subdue her sooner rather than later. Oh, that yawn just disappeared on me. Ari's ready to fight. To fight the big Phoenix. Oh, that was cool. Cool ladder. Did they just like float up and I had to climb the ladder? Oh, there's other ladders. Okay. I was gonna say, are they too good for ladders? Is there a big Phoenix in the window? There's something bubbling. Oh, there it is. I mean, I feel like we've fought big fiery birds on more than one occasion. Wait, that is... Oh, no! It's this dude. Oh, no. Oh, we're outside now. Okay, well, that was... Oh, right, he wields powerful creation magics. Did he just create a ruin? What? Oops, that was not a Bari. Wait, where'd we go? Why would they have ladders in the first place? I didn't need them. For people like me! Wait, what? It seems whoever's behind this can alter space around us at will. We face an uphill battle. Is that not where we're fighting? Impossible! If those were creation magics at work, then that means... Let us confront that reality after we have conquered the enemy in front of us. Every drop of our focus should be required if we are to inter the Phoenix. Is that who we're going to fight as the fourth boss this tier, or is he going to be more elusive than that? Don't tell me. That's me just speculating. I don't actually want an answer. No spoilers. Quest accept. Wait, that was just me accepting the quest? Okay, the third circle is now accessible. Well, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
You appear to both be gathering.
No.
Who said you could gather? Alright. The third circle.
The circle.
We shall gain naught from allowing the larger implications of this to distract us from the fight ahead. The Phoenix's rage will be unbridled, but I trust you are prepared for the worst. Fight well, friend. So, we've already fought Phoenix in Coil, and we fought a big red fiery bird in Suzaku? So... I feel like I've had enough of Phoenixes.
I mean, that's only two.
Well, again, now 3. Although I suppose we have fought in Titan himself more times than that, so I can't really complain.
And Shiva.
And Shiva, yes.
And Garuda. In fact,
Mm,
Garuda we fought thrice or 4 times, maybe?
Oh yeah, Garuda we fought like a bajillion times because there was like a random other Garuda fight with one.
Final Fantasy
Yeah,
15,
yeah. Uh, so yeah, maybe Garuda's who we fought the most, but yeah.
No, Bahamut?
We haven't fought Bahamut that many times. Just once, right?
No, Luna Bahamut we've fought.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
There's, I mean, I technically not fought it, but Ukob.
Those don't count. They're not.
Okay.
They're not real. Although I suppose not
Okay.
all of the other fights are really there. So fair, but I don't count. I don't count ultimates. They're like really not real.
Yeah.
We seem to be missing. Oh, just about everybody. Okay. It's probably the healer's problem because there's probably a lot of people playing Sage. This looks pretty cool without even having to G pose.
Jingle jangle.
It's like Halloween reindeer.
Jangle all the way.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Chainsmiths.
Chainsmiths. Rainsmiths.
Christia.
What?
A Christia.
Yes, a Christier. Sure. I firmly believe that if I can see a place, I should be able to run there. This is blasphemy. Can I just like...
I mean, you can see the sun from where you are in real life, and you can't run there.
Well, but like, there's not an actual path that leads there, though, that I just
No,
like...
that's what you said.
That's what I meant, though. I meant if there's a place I can see and like there's a ground that leads to it, I should be able to jump there.
Okay, you should be able to go there.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously I shouldn't be able to teleport. Like, it makes sense that I can't get out to these big, like, chain things, although I really want to, like, dance inside one of them.
I want one
in our free company house.
in IFC, yeah.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of the front.
That's not Ido sleeping, right? Was that Ido sleeping? Ido, was that you?
We will never know.
Unless he tells us. Ido is suspiciously quiet and not denying it, so I'm gonna take that as a yes. The world unsundered. It's me! Oh, please. Multiply me! Yes! Yes! I'm so many. You are all my, my
I feel
multiples.
like part of you is a Lalafell.
The Phoenix. I like that they couldn't call it a Phoenix because we've already fought the Phoenix. So it has to be the Phoenix.
It's like a cross between Cerberus and Phoenix.
You want to summon that? Oh, alright, we're just going, alright. What do we got? I'm gonna guess this is AoE. And it's all in winter. What? Oh. Okay. Oh no, I totally got hit with that. I'm slow! I'm sorry. Experimental flower plume. Is that the same thing again? Everyone seems to be... Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna die. 2 bone stacks already. Hey, I'm not the only one. Ido's joined me in 2 bone stacks. And someone else has 3 bone stacks, so you know, we could be doing worse. Scorched exploitation? Is that what that said? Oh dear god.
I know.
Oh my god, how am I still alive? Wait, how am I alive when no one else is?
I don't quite know. Maybe they didn't get hit by my damage reduction ability. I did.
This is your least favorite by far? Darkened Fire. Oh, I'm supposed to be raising this other person, right?
Ahelia.
um, do you need to put that over top of the fire things? Seems likely. I don't think one was above, but it still killed it. I don't know what that means. Oh yeah, I lived until my vuln stacks were off. Nice. Super pro. Left singer. That means over here. Yes, I know my left and my right, right? That person doesn't, because they definitely were trying. Alright, what do we do now? I'm gonna guess I don't want to be in the middle. Good call. Is it raining fire on us? Oh, tanks are pulling those apart. AoE. Rear carve. Yikes. Cool, they both died. There's more. But wait, there's more. Wait, did they wait to spawn until they died, or,
Yeah.
Okay.
In normal, at least.
Yeah, I'm guessing we won't be that lucky in Savage. I don't like this fire from the sky rain. Alright, now they don't have many places to stand, hopefully. Oh, stuff spawned inside them. And poofed up into the sky. And now they're over there. Dead rebirth. You put your thing up? Okay. I was thinking, I was like, I feel like I might want to do that. Left. Oh god, which is left? Okay, I want to be over here. Why do these things keep moving around? What do they mean? Oh, oh, okay. I don't know where to go. Over here now? Okay. Ah, okay. I would like to... I'll just keep running this way. There we go. Tank stuff. Those things are going into the middle. Alright.
The off tank now has ultra.
Oh dear god. Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh god. I got them. Who's the off tank now? It's you, Winter.
It's me.
It's you.
It's alright, I've tanked this.
Oh really?
Yes. I've tanked quite a lot of these before.
Thank you. Nope. They didn't get the memo. Don't be in the middle. Oh. I'm gonna maybe stick this somewhere this way. Oh, ouchies. Well, I do have a Vuln stack, I suppose. Fledgling Flight. Is that, yeah, those things. Is this gonna be that square garbage bonkers again? Okay. Okay, I think we want to be going this way, yes. It's at least fairly intuitive. Oh, be in the middle and then get ready to not be in the middle, I presume. Oh, I failed at not being in the middle. Gotta move even faster. Searing Breeze. I imagine that's gonna be an AoE. Oh, actually not. Interesting. Oh, corners. Oh, fire. Okay. How can I attack this one in the corner that doesn't have anybody? I want to not be...
I'm on it.
Oh. Oh, right. Are we even supposed to attack those things?
No, they are.
Okay. I didn't notice. I'm on the left side, so it's fine. Edo, are you able to move up a smidgen? Thank you. Oh, I guess not so much, but I appreciate the attempt. My poor bubble that no one wants to stand in anymore. Okay, I need to get out of here sooner. There we go. Beautiful. I have learned. Where is this flamey bastard? Oh, too many people on one side. Yikes. I guess there's time and space. It's fine. Oh, tanks getting tank wrecked. They're fine. Fledgling flight, that's the 4 thingamabobbers, right? No, why do I keep missing that? Searing Breeze. I think that's just AoE, isn't it? Yeah. So much for my temperance. Oh, corners. Oh god. Oh, I touched a thing for reasons that are not entirely clear to me. Oh, I had a thing. I didn't even get to use it. I managed not to die on that one, didn't I? Proud of myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I had some
I
Vuln
mean,
stacks.
very well apparent at the start.
Yes. Yes, I appreciate you carrying me, Winter, and saving my life. Alright, they're doing their thing. To Phoenix. Beautiful. People aren't nearly Christmassy enough for it being, what's what, like the 23rd? Pretty sure that's the date. Alright, I want bodies. Bodies. Ooh. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get that body. I already have a hand, so I definitely don't want those. Okay, cool. Oh, I think I got the body that I rolled shittier on, actually. Two combina- Why do I just keep getting two commendations? I think I got two commendations in every single fight. The tanks love me and not Winter? Maybe?
I leave really fast.
Oh, yeah, that's probably
Also
why.
could be that.
Oh, they're talking. With this, the Phoenix is shackled once more. However, there's yet another matter of this arena. Alright, I'm gonna mute myself and deafen. Yeah, it was created by what's his face? Ethics professor. You got legs, not body. Oh, did I get legs last time? Oh well. Now I have legs and body. I'm almost a real person. As you've told us, there is but one person in Asphodelos with the ability and authority to wield such magics. Daddy? Though fortunately, it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. Yeah, we were hoping he was helping other people, though. And he also seems to have disappeared. A contemptible display, as befits an inferior specimen. Hey, who are you calling an inferior specimen? Even so, I expected it would at least delay your advance. Imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of internment drag the phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is even more of a failure than its creators cared to admit, or you are no mean trespassers. Oh, what weapon do I have? That's pretty cool looking. Oh, that's the one from that fight. That's a spoiler by name, and I don't think anybody's watching who doesn't want spoilers because this is spoiler stream. But we'll try not to spoil fights. Still, the trial, the second trial. I had hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas. I mean, I thought our suspicions were. I thought they were fairly certain that he was just like helping everybody out. Why, hello there. Keyword Hesperos, why? Why have you brought such chaos to your beloved Pandemonium? Pandemonium, pitiless, impenetrable, and utterly steadfast, unlike those charged with its keeping. What has possessed you? I don't understand. Oh yeah, this is his like mentor, isn't it? Oh no, somebody else was his mentor. La Brea was his mentor. Oh, Eric, you pester me with these inane questions? Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. Then again, you have never been one for insight. Why Master Lahabrea suffers your mediocrity, I shall never understand. Oh, that was cruel. You may look like him, but you're not the Hesperos I know. What the heck? Desk is like jumping. Something has warped you too, from the inside out. The keyword I knew had compassion for all those under his charge, be they clad in robes or shackled in chains. Was that all a farce? Did you hide your contempt for us all these years? Those who are content to merely glimpse the water's surface are doomed to be dragged into its depths. Really? How does that even make sense? You prove my opinion with your every word. My mind is clearer than it has ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bile rise in my throat. Such wasted potential. To be son to Master Lahabrea, yet no more skilled with magic than a newborn babe. I mean, he's a little more skilled than that. Just a smidgen, but like, let's give him credit where credit's due. It's a pretty cool staff I've got, though. But of course, it's always about Lahabred? The snow globe staff. I like it. Silence! You are not worthy to utter his name. Wow, he took a long time to cut him off. That didn't flow very well there. My snow globe has a crown, though. At least it looks like a crown. For once, be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager abilities, beyond your shallow reckoning. I have slipped the surly bonds of mortality. I mean, didn't they already all kind of? Definitely some awkwardness with that timing. La Brea fanboys. Yeah. Wasn't expecting this raid to be so much about La Brea. I have become one with our mythic creations and rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. Well, good thing the final days are just around the corner. I mean, I somehow am less concerned about this threat because it's kind of like, well, let's just let the end of days fix this shit up. Why do I gotta deal with this? As a Hemethio, shall I serve Master Lahabrea, ever faithful unto the end of days. Also, good thing we have a god-killing expert around. Yeah, I know. Do you even know who I am? Oh, he's trying to chain us. Good luck. Look at the crown my staff has. And he shall require no other. Are you chaining us up for Lahabrea? I think not. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Who the heck are you? La Hebrea? Are you so blinded by arrogance that you have lost sight of what it means to serve? Eric is more capable than you could ever know. It's Vanna with a haircut. And a little bit younger. It was thanks to his instruction that I was able to master the art of interment. I mean, not just his instruction. Oh, right. Okay, never mind. I'm confused. The only thing that bothered you is the ancients shouldn't have need for eyeglasses. That's true. Maybe he just likes to look at them. Both how to wield it and how to break free of it. Maybe he's hungover. He's like, who are you? I'm familiar. Ari, let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hesperos' mind, it is plain his power far eclipses our own. We must have time to gather our strength. They're aesthetic fake lenses, yeah. Oh, here I was excited that there was a new chat. Instead, I just gotta banhammer them. So sad. I'm ready to fight him right now. Can we just end him? I like that he let us talk about like how we can't fight him now, so we're just gonna leave, and he just like chilled. Let us go. Huh. Weaklings though they may be, it takes a singular aptitude to master internment so quickly, to say nothing of how swiftly that familiar laid low the phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing, where they fritter away their strength in calming the beasts of Asphaltos. I continue my work, even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain. Naught shall await them but doom. So I imagine we're not gonna fight him next. I eagerly await your arrival, Eric. Even dullards have their uses. Where'd Eric go? Oh, he's hiding over here. What are you doing over here, Eric? Please leave me be. Oh. Well, now I feel bad. My darkest suspicions have been realized. We face the keyword of Asphaltos himself. More than a revelation, however, Eric worries me. He loved Hesperos for his compassion, but received naught but scorn from whatever the keyword has become. Nick logged out. Oh noes. He has said little since our return. I only hope the shock of recent events does not prove to be a death knell for his resolve. Is it the middle one? It's the middle one. Alright, cool. Will he still tell me to leave him alone? I'm such a jerk. Themis. Who wards the warders? Good question. Themis will offer what comfort he can to Eric. Much as I am loath to disturb Eric so soon after what just occurred, I am afraid circumstances do not afford us the luxury of time. Perhaps it will do do him well to speak about recent events concerning both the keyword and his father. Wait, I mean, Lahabrea wasn't like literally his father, right? They don't have literal father and children, right? It was just his mentor, right? He seemed reticent to say aught concerning Lahabrea when the subject was broached. Doubtless his relationship with his father is a fraught one. No, yes, he was. Wait, literally? The creation of the ward which surrounds Pandemonium was an astounding feat of magical prowess, a feat accomplished by none other than Lahabrea. Oh my god, my toes are so itchy for some reason. That both my father and I can bind others in chains is perhaps the only thing that we have in common. Oh yeah. How do you think they have babies? Creation magic. Please, how else? Ah, so it's true. I'm Lahabrea's son. Okay, now they're telling me literally. I'm glad they don't do baby unmaking. I mean, in theory they do. They just let it be the person's own choice, right? When they want to die, they like. I assume they're basically unmade. I'm Lahabrea's son, bereft of his talent for magics or his brilliant mind, but his son nonetheless. Surely this doesn't come entirely as a surprise to you. Nay, I had an inkling when you said you had practiced ethereal shackles since childhood. Assuming you haven't been employed here quite that long, it had to indicate some long-held connection with La Habrea. Was La Habrea big about chains? I'm trying to think. All I can think of is chains from, like, the chains that we get when we do, um... Elpis maybe... I mean, that was what I had thoughts of when he was like, I've done ethereal shackles since childhood. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, what chains? Did Lahabrea use chains in his attacks commonly? I'm trying to remember. All I remember though is like the active time battle garbage stuff. But then I'm thinking of like the Hades fate fight. He did choose to possess Thancred, and if any of the scions are messy enough to like chains. No, you don't recall him using any. Okay. 'Twas Lahabrea that taught me how to cast ethereal shackles, but that was it. My father's further education was overseen by the words of Lahabrea, more specifically my mother, who was a researcher there. Wait, his mother was a word of Lahabrea? That seems wrong. You did speak of Athena, chief keyword before Lahabrea. She is your mother, yeah. Oh dear God. Winter, you keep spoiling things. Telling me things right before I find them out. Chief keyword before Labrea. Interesting. Why are you so shocked, Ari? Like we know anything. How astute. I can see why you were chosen to lead this investigation. You have the right of it. Athena was my mother, and it was she who invited me to join her here. Lahabrea had nothing to do with it. I see there's little love lost between you two. What I cannot see is why Lahabrea was appointed chief keyword when another was already in place. Was in place. My mother is no longer with us. The family trees, right? Yeah. Eric was a legendary early king of Athens, and he supposedly had Athena as his. Oh, okay. Eric Thonius is a. I've never heard that name before. But that is also a known. Eden turned into the dating game, right? Wait. Oh, right, right. You're right. Hmm. And Lahabrea was all too eager to assume her responsibilities, with nary a moment spared to mourn her. What love do I owe him now when he offered not one drop of compassion then? Might as well keep going. Ah, I see. She is no longer with us. An expression to convey the end of life. Well, I feel like this, basically shits all over my theory that this guy is La Habrea. Because, there's no way this dude's talking to his father. So, unless, of course, he's a future La Habrea and is the La Habrea we know. Because there's always that. But I feel like they need to not do much with that, because that's just confusing. I see. She's no longer with us. An expression to convey the end of life. I have known only the public face of La Habrea. While he is lauded for his ability to maintain composure in the face of unnerving circumstances, I must admit that he oft comes across as cold. Well, good thing he's dead now. Unless it's a different La Habrea. Apologies, but can we speak of something else? This topic isn't an easy one for me to discuss. Of course, there are more pressing matters at hand after all, namely how to deal with Hesperos. We have yet to see the other warders. Judging by what we know, we can surmise that Hesperos has confined them somewhere beyond our grasp. And now that he's aware of our presence, he will be preparing for our next encounter. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing, quite the opposite, in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after their creations is another moment Hesperos can contrive another advantage for himself. The wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. So we are going to fight him next? He said that he has become one with the creations. Perhaps that means he is vulnerable to internment? In theory, that should be possible. However, is it enough to merely confine him after all he's done? I mean, it's a good start. I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he's worked for. Was it all truly so he could serve his master? To my mind, he merely puts La Habrea's own work at risk in trade for some nebulous power. La Habrea's chief keyword of pandemonium. How would throwing it into disarray win his favor? It doesn't make any sense. I share your curiosity, but we must consider that our enemy has us at a disadvantage in every sense. What do you think? Should we seek to put him in fetters, or would it be too dangerous to allow him quarter? I think I want answers too. If you fail to confine him, I can always strike him down. Yeah. We already had answers. A whole song of it. I'm gonna go with the second one. Daring as ever, I see. I know not which trials you've faced in your past, but to see you so certain is the convincing I need. Very well, let us try Eric's plan. Thank you, Eri. I believe I can shed some light on the nature of our foe. When Hesperos spoke with us, I noticed he bore the telltale fangs of the Vricholocus? Vricholocus? A beast which feeds off the ether of its prey. Likely that is the creation Hesperos merged his essence with. And we know all too well that he can change the environment around him at will. The battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. Alright. You guys ready? Who's ready for some fight?
I am.
Excellent. Alright, let's ready check. Are you guys gathering again? Oh, Ida wasn't. Shockers. Is this the same entrance to all of them? We've just been chilling here at the start, haven't we? Alright. Themis. He called himself Hemethios and claimed immortality. I know not how he discovered this dark art, but his actions do not bespeak of a sound mind. Yeah, not so much. The Hesperos possess such lust for power that he would resort to this. Clearly I misjudged him. I'd like nothing more than to strike him down myself, but seeing you wipe that arrogant grin off his face will taste just as sweet. On it, Eric. I will do this for you.
Like Eric can do anything.
Hmm?
Like Eric can do anything.
He's not completely useless.
True.
Wait, so people have theories that Eric becomes the new La Habrea? And is the La Habrea we know?
Then surely would he not
I feel like
remember her?
that is true. He probably would, because
He's
I'm,
not been
yeah, imagine we're
tied
not
up with
having
it.
more, yeah, I don't think it. He's too useless to become a new lab, right? And it's not really, they're not really about, like, giving it to people for, just because they're family. Yeah. I don't see that they're big into nepotism. If you're not good at it, then they're not going to give it to you. Look, see, he doesn't need his glasses after all. He took them straight off.
Think I.
So many black mages tonight. Alright, let's see what this fight's all about. Oh, Hesperos. Oh, you're boring
Oh,
me. Look at
countdown.
that. Oh, this music's fun. Alright, what do we got first? Tank Buster, alright. Um, uh, what was that? Oh, now it's just a big hole in the ground. What happens if you stand on that? Pinax. Everybody's running away. I'm gonna run away too. Oh god, too far.
I
my,
see that.
my bad. So the spikes kill you. Setting the scene. Oh. Oh, we had curtains now. Pinax. Okay, that's like a water thing. I guess we want to stay close. So where's Winter going? I trust Winter. Oh, no. Winter. You baited me! Why? Why you want to kill me?
I'm so glad that worked.
That's just cruel. You're so mean. No mana. Oh, everywhere but here. Okay. What is, okay, we need to be away from that one, but like in for this one. I don't understand. I'm definitely not trusting Winter. I guess everybody's coming to stand down here. Hell skewer? Oh god. And now we need to be in the middle. Okay, I see. I see what's going on. Now we're gonna get knocked back from the middle. Oh, I was a little off to one side. That could have gone poorly. I'm real embarrassed if I died again. I think trusting you was a failing of mine. And the other one, I definitely just like walked into a wall, so that was certainly my fault. Be lone calls or coils? Oh, X's. Oh, don't be a healer in that one? That's interesting. Decolation? Ah, AoEs. Thanks for the carry, Winter. Certainly have no idea what I'm doing. Alright, what are you doing now? Westerly shift. Okay, there's a thing over here. Everybody's running towards it. Oh, okay, fair enough. Good thing I followed. This Chalmsy is no mere affection, I assure you. Chalmsy? Westerly shift. I want to be behind it again. Did you say hummus? Why is that person standing right in front of it? Oh, okay. Oh, dear God. Do they look different? What am I missing here?
They do.
That thing looks like a claw and people are standing in front of it. Okay, it's not back. I don't know what the other one looked like.
It's a cake. And it's cakelets.
Oh. I don't know what to do. Oh. Oh, I don't know where it went, but it's gone. Did someone else run into it? Oh. Oh, no healer, no healer, shoot. I'm sorry. I'm really not doing well in this fight.
I mean, at least you're doing well noticing it's no healer, because a lot of people just don't.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the fourth one will be. Will it just be a repeat of one of the other ones? Oh, or just, oh yeah, what is, I don't know what that is. How do we know which one's first? I will wait, yeah, okay. So what's frothing? I don't see anything frothing.
Describe it. It's after.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, you're right, it is after Connects. Okay, we don't know what this one is. This is new, isn't it? Oh, it's a stack, okay. That's fair. Oh, okay. I don't remember what this one is. Is it knockback? Okay. Do I want to be knocked away from it? Or does it just not matter? Alright. I can get this guy. Alright. Oh, there's a thing. Okay, I need to be in not tank. That's get away. Okay. But not too far away. Not in the wall away. Okay, this is a sword, so we want to get behind it, I'm guessing? Okay, that's the cleave. Alright. I can be taught.
Baited.
Yes. I mean, I'm taught to follow people. I learned last night, follow Winter. Winter knows where to go. And then that didn't serve me very well today, but it was a learned thing. I just had to unlearn it now. I learned that Winter's a lie. Alright, these follow you and you need to run into ones that are not your thing. Okay. Need to run into other people. I'll run into this one. There we go. Perfect. Hopefully someone will run it. No one's gonna run into mine? Okay, thanks guys. Oh, knockback. Cool. Alright, I imagine we're gonna kill him before we need to care about these.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, we will.
Yay.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming along, Ido, in winter and carrying me and laughing at my dead body.
No problem. Anytime.
And I'm not sure what I was thinking that I could get through all of this in enough time to do roulettes. I think I forgot that story is a thing. Easy, even with the gameplay sabotage. Yeah. I'll commend this tank who's still here. Alright. Oh, what is this thing? Minion. I did not get it. I'll roll on some body. I rolled a 9. I'll roll on the other body. Roll on some legs. I don't want hands. I'm probably gonna get these pants, if nothing else. Oh. Um. What piece? I don't know. What do we even have? Oh, I do kind of want hands.
I've already passed for your hands.
I know. I thought I had 2 hands, but I only got 1. Alright. Then I got body. Cool. Excellent. What's left? Oh yeah, the rings I didn't pass on. No commendations this time. Hey Ari, I enjoyed them. I'm not. I don't know. They were kind of. I'm looking forward to the savage fights. This should be intriguing. All right, I'm gonna hop off Discord because that's the end of
Okay.
us doing stuff. So later, guys. Thanks for joining me. Oh, Ido couldn't wait to get out of there. He like left before I even finished saying goodbye. I see how it is, Ido. How'd you like the raids, Ari? I'm gonna go finish the story now. Now, Themis, we end this here. I hope it does end it, but since there's another raid, I imagine it might not be so simple. Although there's certainly other things that we can fight on different levels that are not this dude. Fools, I will not be put in chains. Need to do circle 4 more to decide. To think I would fall before one such as... I mean, you literally were laying on the ground. Perhaps I should have treated you more than a mere nuisance. Oh yeah, okay. I thought he was saying that like he didn't fall, but he's just upset that he did fall. Alright, fair enough. Do you know who I am? Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception, they shall return to the star with me. You're wasting your breath, Hesperos. We have the upper hand now. Surely you can see that. Hello, Arthy Boo. What are you doing down there? Yes, yes, my repertoire is not exhausted yet, however. Although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. One of these days we'll have a villain who actually respects us as a threat before we need to beat them down. Yeah. Oh, wait. Who did... What? Oh, did he kill himself so that he doesn't have to tell us anything? I remain loyal to my very last. Come what may, I die with dignity. Alright. You'll never catch me alive, Copper. You worry about our reaction times? How did your ambition lead you so astray, Hesperos? You were better than that. What did Ari say? We did and left him for dead. Your star shone more brightly than any other in Pandemonium. You had La Hebrea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? That you would forsake all and sully your legacy besides. Oh, Pooblets. You just got warm all over my leg, and now it's cold. He became so blinded by his own desires that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything, and his plans lie in tatters. I fail to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would like to have known why he chose this path. Hesperos' infatuation with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was so jealous that fate had chosen you and not him to be La son. So terrible did this jealousy become that he sought verboten power, power that La would be unable to ignore. But then he just killed himself before La even noticed. How does a pursuit for respect warp one's heart so? How does infatuation with one person turn into contempt for everyone else? I've never heard of such a thing. It's not as uncommon as you might think. It happens, but that doesn't mean it's right. It's not as uncommon as you might think. I see. I admit I cannot but find it vexing, but perhaps that signifies not but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in dark times, a person you trust to guide you true. How it is to desperately wish their light would fall upon you again. Fitting outfit, I know, right, Clay? Totally fit in with this cutscene. But we have spent enough time assuming the intentions of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other warders and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Of that at least we can be certain. You did miss Winter killing me. He baited me into a mechanic that I didn't know. I believe I can be of help in that matter. The influence of Hesperus' magic is fading through Asphodelos. Now is the perfect opportunity to seize control of the facilities and restore things to their original state. Wait, it's that easy? Seize control? Can you really do that? OMG. What are you shocked by? What? What is this presence? Oh, is it me? No, it's someone else. Eric, what lies beyond that threshold? That's the passage which connects Asphilotos to Abyssia. Why? Be on your guard, you two. Now that Asphilotos is free of obstructions, I can more easily sense the disturbances in the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssia. Hello, Arthipoo. Did you just claw me in the leg? You did a little bit. Somehow my pronunciation never ceased to amaze you. No! Arthas almost skipped this cutscene for me! No, Arthas! Can you sit your butt down? You're really in the way, Arthas. You're really in the way. I can't see what's going on. A warding sigil? How? Let us return to the gates for now. I should like to apprise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. Asphodelos? Or maybe Os? Isn't that what I said? Asphodelos. Pretty sure I said that. Oh, Asphodelos? I mean, it's the same difference. Wait, this isn't ending the... I guess I gotta take me out of here. Just when I thought our work to be done, did this tragedy unfold all throughout Pandemonium? Completely different. No, it's the same words, just different emphasis. Although we have defeated Hesperos, it appears we have but scratched the surface of Pandemonium's troubles. Popcorn. Latin would stress the second syllable, like I was saying. I mean, Clay, do you actually have a basis for your pronunciation, or is that just how you feel like it should be pronounced? My head is still swimming with questions, but could this mean that Hesperos wasn't actually behind this? It's a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague and that your senses were muddled. I believe this was more than the result of a panicked mind. You were made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. It is possible that the same magic could have poisoned Hesperos' heart, twisting his affection for La Habrea into burning obsession. Then, in his altered state, he was made to offer a power that he could not refuse. Are we supposed to feel bad for killing him? Aspho Dallas cheerleaders. uh, Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned Hesperos into that thing? If so, it stands to reason they wouldn't stop at him. Indeed, our mysterious mastermind does not lack for subjects for his experiments, for more potential hemithioi. I think Ari just looks amazing in these cutscenes. If what you're saying is true, then my colleagues, they're doomed to share the same fate as Hesperos. I feel like the glowing nose really just like captures the atmosphere. Do not lose heart yet, Eric. Hesperos challenged us alone, and that tells me that the process of his creation was a long and taxing one. If he was the first Prometheus, then the rest of the warders are likely still alive. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into... Arthas, stop trying to skip cutscenes. No. Hasten deeper into pandemonium, the way forward is sealed off. We must focus our efforts on finding a way through. With the creation still having free reign in Asphilotos? That won't be easy. On the contrary, I yet retain control of these circles, and thus can wield interment magics within the halls at will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Who the heck is this guy? Just like that? Then nothing's stopping us from returning to Asphilotos. Just so, I shall require your expertise to keep the peace after the subjects have been returned to their confinement, however. You are Asphilotos' sole remaining warder, after all. Truth be told, I did not expect the investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... Do you mean to send a report to La Habrea? 'Tis too soon to say. Let us first find a way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we have ascertained the whereabouts of the other warders and identify the party responsible for their disappearance. Agreed. Even so, if it means saving even a single life within Pandemonium, then I'm not above asking La Habrea for help, should it come to that. Arthas, are you just going to stand in front of my monitor? No? Okay. Bye. Bye, snuggly butts. Recent discoveries certainly paint Hesperos' actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows, and we must proceed forward with the utmost caution. So let's take about 3 months to do it. To that end, Eric, I don't know why I tried to pronounce his name, and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection as long as we remain in Asphilotos. You should take this time to rest. Surely you are weary, and there may be more battles ahead of us. Themis' burden may grow heavy in your absence, but he has shown that he's more than capable to bear it. Arthas, I'm not giving you treats. Stop trying to climb the bookshelf. Bets that the current La Habrea is behind this? Yeah, probably. Still, yeah, there's been enough talk about La Habrea that he's gotta be part of this. Still, I would help wheresoever I am able, and all we have achieved so far has been thanks to you two, and I mean to repay the debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside of placating creatures, but I'll find a way. Nonsense! You owe us nothing. It was thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we were able to come this far. Elsewise, we would have likely succumbed to the hippocampus's assault. Each of us have arrived at a dire pass by separate paths, but it is only by combining our respective expertise that we will reach the end and see Pandemonium saved. Thank you, Themis. Hesperos' words seem to have affected me more than I realized. Together we've come this far, and together we'll reach the end. The La Habrea they describe sounds different from the one we know. Yeah, but I'm really annoyed about like there being different people with the same names. I feel like that's like I understand why, but like it's too goddamn confusing. I have no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Ari her rest. I also feel like they're just replacing Van Daniel's position. Like I just can't believe that it's the convocation is something that changes members frequently. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress. Yes, I dare say your story will be much more than they ever imagined. My friend would be very curious to hear what has occurred here. However, I fear that if I left Pandemonium, the wards protecting it would quickly deteriorate. Hope she does not mind assuming some of my duties in the meantime. Ah, so you don't serve the convocation. I suppose I needn't worry about you going behind our backs to curry favor with La Habrea. Alright, I need to go... Oh, okay. I was like, where the heck am I going? But yeah, the more that I think about it, the more I think the thought that Eric is the current La Habrea, no. I think that's crazy talk. Professor Claudian has tasked me with recording the ethereal signatures of each and every crystal in his recent orders. As a lowly assistant, I'm honored to be given such an enormous and monumental assignment. That's great. Namgigi? At the professor's behest, we have kept our reports on recent events as vague as we can manage. Even if we wish to do otherwise, not much of note has transpired here of late. All we know is he's fairly rash with his actions. Arthur, stop trying to pull your fur out of your tail. Stop it. Welcome, Ari. Back from the past, none the worse for the wear, I see. So what did you find? Let me tell you a story with my hands, all about pandemonium. So there's evil afoot in pandemonium. An already ominous place, I must say. Mythic beasts and missing warders. Truly, we are fortunate to see you return to us in one piece. And that he changed bodies a lot. It appears the voice Ari heard from the crystal spoke the truth. As for who left it behind and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed, it could be someone who lived amongst the ancients, or it could be someone trying to avert a tragedy from the future. Much remains shrouded in mystery. You're 1,000% right, Clay. I take it back. uh, Yet, ilm by ilm, we shall unveil that mystery, with the help of Ari, of course. By her actions was the fabric of the past reshaped, yet she returns to us to the same present she left, which can only mean one thing, that her intervention in Pandemonium's crisis is but one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. How do you know the present has been changed? There's no telling what consequence would arise if we stopped pursuing this matter now. Whatever plot is unraveling within Pandemonium, we must not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples would carry forth to the future? They might wreak havoc upon the world of the ancients, and their despair would leave an indelible mark upon history's pages. That despair would only feed the terrible beast that arose during the final days. The first final days had already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. If the scars it left were made even deeper, then we risk losing our present entirely. Who is this we? I don't see Blondie here traveling back to the past. Fair enough, fair enough. I was gonna say I thought they were studying the crystal, but I'm pretty sure they gave it to me to take in case, like, it speaks to me again. Whatever the cost, our connection with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I've asked much of you already, but can I count on you to continue your work in Pandemonium? No, heck no. I'm done in that place. Not going back. You can't make me. Hey! Hey, I said no! Ari! How dare you not? Your tireless efforts are much appreciated. If there's aught we can do to ease your burden, you need only say the word. Speaking of which, might you return the crystal to our keeping? While we cannot accompany you to the past, perhaps something can be gained by researching it further. See, they are going to do something moderately useful, possibly. Ah, it shines just as splendidly as the day we met. We shall be. Was that not today? We shall begin work right away, but I cannot promise any meaningful results for some time. And as matters in Alba seem to be in a similar state, I must ask that you rest. Or was it saying the day he met the stone? Because I think they've had that longer than I've known them. But literally, they just met me today. But before that, allow me to make an introduction. As our research moves into its critical stage, I found it only suitable to recruit another assistant. Uh-oh. Oh. Mylene is an expert in armaments throughout history, be they from far-flung past or made in the most modern forges. Should you find aught of interest in your adventures, bring it here and she will be glad to offer her services. We know researchers in numerous fields would love to get their hands on artifacts from bygone eras, and would give you goods in return that should aid you in the trials ahead. Furthermore, if you ever wish to peruse the records of events you've reported here, Nemanji has been taking faithful and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. Oh, they called her she again in the actual story. So Winter, you just weren't paying attention. Did you read the story? I sense that we have embarked on something monumental, something that will dwarf all else I have accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor nor reassurance than to have your capable assistance in this endeavor. If there's anything to be found that will contribute to your success, we shall find it. We shall not rest until we have unlocked the mysteries of this crystal, and you will be the first to know when we do. I suspect you will figure this out in about 3 months. Wait, is it 6 months? It's 6 months, isn't it? 6 months, yeah. Piety? Well, where's, oh, over here. I don't have enough of anything. Yeah, 3 months we get to stomp a new set of gods. Yeah, the 12, right? Something like that. But yeah, I suspect you'll figure something out in 6 months from now. And then I'll go do some more fighting in Pandemonium. Well, I'm kind of sad that I won't get any new Elpis stuff for 6 months. Unless the 24-man quest takes us to Elpis too. I suppose it could. I kind of feel like it won't, but it could. Anyways, that only took me 5 minutes extra. I only went into 5 minutes of overtime. Well, that's quite convenient. So I'm gonna head off. I really think that I'll be able to stream tomorrow afternoon. As soon as I ended my stream yesterday, I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna be able to stream in the afternoon. I got stuff I gotta do." But I'm pretty sure I finished all the stuff that I can do today. If anything comes up tomorrow, it's gonna be in the morning because most people are only working half days, anyways. So I don't suspect that there'll be any issue with me streaming in the afternoon. So I plan to be here at 1 p.m. Eastern, but if something does come up, I'll let you guys know. And yeah, until then, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. Have a good Friday. Enjoy your Christmas Eve, although I hope you'll come hang out with me in the afternoon before it is truly the eve of Christmas Eve. All right, guys, take care. Have a good night. Bye.